Hello students, good morning everyone. Today's our science topic in 8th class is about microorganisms. A large number of living organisms seen around us. But these number of organisms are not seen with the help of our naked eyes. Means some organisms are seen with our naked eyes, or some organisms are seen with the help of and some instruments, that is microscope. So microorganisms are those group of organisms which are seen with the help of a microscope, because size of these microorganisms is very small, and so these are not able to see with our naked eyes. The living organism, the branch of science that deals with the study of microorganisms, is known as microbiology. Okay. Now, in microorganism, we will study about microbes and their study. The study of microorganism is called microbiology. The microorganisms include many major group of microbes such as virus, bacteria, algae, fungi and protozoa. These are some groups of microbes which we study in detail in this microbiology and in this chapter of microorganisms. The first scientist, Robert Hooke, discovered the cells of an organism. Robert Hooke, a scientist, he studied about the cells. Cell is the smallest unit of life that makes tissue, and tissue further makes our organs and organ system and so on. They work. After that, in this, some common features of the microbes. Some microbes are very helpful to us and some are harmful to us. These microbes are small in size, their process of nutrition is different. Some autotrophic, some show heterotrophic, and some show holozoic and other types of modes of nutrition. Most of the microorganisms are very small in size. Some microbes like bacteria, which are very helpful for us. For example, lactobacillus, a bacteria that convert milk into curd. So these are some common features of the microbes, and the process of reproduction in microbes takes place with the help of both, that is sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. In some cases sexual and in some cases asexual mode of reproduction takes place. Okay. After that, what are the habitat of the microorganisms? After that, habitat. Habitat means the place where an organism lives. The place where an organism lives is known as the habitat. So, here the microorganisms are found all around us, in soil, in air, in water, in land, etc. Microorganisms are found everywhere. Microorganisms are able to bear the extreme conditions of temperature, such as like hot temperature, humidity, cold conditions, weather conditions. They can easily hold them. After that, some microorganisms remain associated with other microorganisms with the help of the symbiotic associations or symbiotic relationship that we discussed in 7th class, symbiotic association. Now we will discuss in detail about these major groups of microbes. That is, first is the virus. What is a virus? A virus is a small compound particle composed of two parts, that is protein and nucleic acid. A virus is composed of small substance which is composed of protein and nucleic acids. Viruses cannot reproduce by themselves, but they can be reproduced when they live in a living organism. So viruses are both types, that is living as well as non-living. Because when they enter into the living body, then the reproduction process starts and a number of viruses starts developing in the human body, and many of them will die after a certain period of time. And as many number of viruses die in our body, then we get sick or ill, then disease occur in our body. Because there is no efficiency of these viruses to protect against the disease, because their numbers reduce. So, the study of a virus is called virology. Okay? After that, as we have discussed that viruses behave both living as well as non-living parts. So, sometimes it behaves as a living and characteristics of living particles of viruses like cells in plants, DNA and RNA generate many materials. After that, next is bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular organisms. They have only one cell. Bacteria are unicellular, means only a single cell is present in the bacteria. They have cell wall and thus are considered to be related with a plant cell, just as because it contains a cell wall, and cell wall containing particles, materials are considered in behave just as like a plant cell. There are two types of cells, plant cells and animal cells. Bacteria behave like a plant cell due to the presence of a cell wall, because cell wall is absent in animal cell and present in the plant cell. Bacteria are very small organisms, and bacteria occur in many shapes, that is rod-like shape, spherical shape and spiral shapes, etc. Spherical shaped bacteria are called cocci. Spherical shaped bacteria are called cocci. Rod-like shaped bacteria are called bacilli. Rod-like shaped bacteria are called bacilli, and spiral shaped are called spirilla. Spiral shaped bacteria are called spirilla. So the blue-green algae are also known as the cyanobacteria. A well-known bacteria, that is cyanobacteria, which is a blue-green algae. And examples of these are Albina oscillatoria, etc. After that, Bacteria either shows autotrophic mode of nutrition or it will show heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And the process of reproduction in bacteria generally asexual method takes place. Okay. After that, our next microbes is algae. Algae are the simple plants having no roots, stems and leaves. They are the simple plants. Their plant body is thallus, called a thallus. Algae are eukaryotic, autotroph mode of nutrition take place. Eukaryotes and prokaryotes, there are two types of substances. So algae are the eukaryotic substances. Okay. After that, types of algae: green algae, blue algae, red algae. These are the three types of algae. And the process of nutrition in algae are the autotrophic because they are blue-green algae and green color. Autotroph mode of nutrition takes place. Plants, algae makes their food itself. And algae show both modes of reproduction, sexual as well as asexual reproduction. Okay, students. After that, next one microbes is about fungi. Fungi are the non-green plants. They have lack of chlorophyll. So the process of autotrophic mode of nutrition does not take place in case of fungi. And in fungi may be unicellular or multicellular. Fungi either may be unicellular or multicellular. After that, the types of fungi: yeast, mold, mildews and mushroom. These are the types of fungi. Yeast are the unicellular fungi. Mushroom are also unicellular fungi. Molds are the multicellular fungi. Molds are the multicellular fungi. And other fungi are yeast, mildews and mushroom are the unicellular fungi. In fungi, the mode of nutrition is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition takes place, and the process of reproduction, sexual and asexual, both type of reproduction takes place. After that, in case of protozoa, what are protozoa? Protozoa are the single-celled organism. What are protozoa? Single-celled organism. After some examples of the protozoa: amoeba, euglena, paramecium, entamoeba, trypanosoma and plasmodium. These are the parts of the amoeba. Protozoa. Now, amoeba, you had already studied about it. Amoeba is a protozoa, unicellular protozoa. It has a false feet or pseudopodia, and due to this, its shape is not regular. It changes its shape, and the process of nutrition in case of amoeba takes place due to the presence of a pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are also known as the false feet. So, amoeba is found in fresh water. After that, euglena. Euglena also present in fresh water. It contains chlorophyll. Euglena contains chlorophyll, and the process of photosynthesis takes place in case of euglena, and autotrophic mode of nutrition takes place in case of euglena. After that, paramecium. Paramecium is a free living organism which is also found in the fresh water. such as pond slates. Free living organism is a paramecium. Unicellular. Amoeba and paramecium are both unicellular organism. These three, amoeba, euglena and paramecium, are the useful protozoa which helps us. And ant amoeba, trypanosoma and plasmodium, these are the harmful protozoa. Okay? This type of protozoa have many effects on the living organisms. They are the harmful protozoa. Okay students, after that, now we will discuss about friendly microbes. We had already studied about the major groups of microorganisms. These group of organisms, microbes, some behave as the friendly microbes and some behave as the harmful microbes. Which behave as the friendly microbes are used in medicinal and also used in industry. In medicinal use, they are used as antibiotic and vaccine. Antibiotic and vaccine. And in harmful microorganism. Now we will discuss about the importance of bacteria in friendly microbes. What is the importance of bacteria? In antibiotics, many well-known bacteria are used as an antibiotic to kill the germs which are present in our body, such as streptomycin, chloromycin, etc. In vaccination process also, these bacteria are used in the preparation of vaccines and serum. After that, bacteria are also used in cleaning our environment. To clean our environment, these bacteria are used. Because these simple substances can mix with the soil and gets converted into useful compounds after mixing with the land soil. After that, these bacteria are also used in the process of a nitrogen cycle, where nitrogen gas which is present in the atmosphere, and also the process of nitrogen cycle, bacteria, that is rhizobium bacteria, which is present in the roots of the leguminous plants, and they play an important role in the process of a nitrogen cycle and nitrogen fixation. In nitrogen fixation, the bacteria, that is rhizobium bacteria, which is present in the roots of the leguminous plants, is used. And in the case of nitrogen cycle, the cycle that converts and makes nitrogen with the help of many compounds and form nitrogen compounds. During the process, atmospheric nitrogen is fixed into organic compounds. In nitrogen cycle, the nitrogen which is present in our atmosphere gets combined to form complete nitrogen compounds, ammonium, such as NH4 positive ammonium compounds, etc. Normally, ammonium compounds found in the soil are made available, which are used for the green plants to take their photosynthesis process, because NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, these are the essential parts of the plants to maintain their growth. Okay, after that, blue-green algae, ammonification, nitrification, denitrification, In these processes, bacteria are used and they behave as a friend in the process of nitrification, denitrification, ammonification, etc. In the process of nitrification, the ammonia compounds are further converted into other compounds such as nitrates, phosphates, nitrites, etc. After that, denitrification. In the process of denitrification, the nitrate and nitrites which are formed by the using of nitrogen gas which is present in our atmosphere are gets converted back into the nitrogen. Nitrogen is converted into nitrates or nitrites. This process is known as the nitrification, and further back conversion is known as the denitrification process. These are lactobacillus bacteria which is used in industries. Okay. After that, importance of fungi. What is the importance of fungi? First fungi, penicillin, is obtained from the Penicillium fungus, which is used as an antibiotic. Penicillin, which is obtained from the Penicillium fungus and used as an antibiotics. In agriculture, in increasing of the soil fertility, fungus are used and play an important role. They form our soil very fertile by the decomposition of dead plants and decaying matter. In industry, wine industry and bread industry, fungi is also used. In wine industry, brewery or bread industry, bakery, in these two industries, both are based on the process of fermentation. Both are based on the process of fermentation. Fermentation means production of alcohol by using yeast. Means fungi is also used in the preparation of wine. Also it is used in the preparation of bakery industry. Okay. After that, importance of algae. What is the importance of algae? Algae play an important role in medicine, industry, agriculture as well as food. Blue-green algae is used as an antibiotic, alga. In agriculture, algae are used as a manure to increase our fertility of the soil. Also, algae, blue-green algae used in nitrogen fixation just as a bacteria. Similarly, blue-green algae also fix nitrogen gas, and in the process of nitrogen fixation it is used. After that, the importance of protozoa. What is the importance of protozoa? Protozoa helps in making of aquatic food chains. Food chains such as grass is eaten by grass eating animals, means herbivores animals, and these small animals are further eaten by carnivorous animals, and the process of food chain takes place. So, protozoa are used in aquatic food chains. Protozoa also decompose other organic matters, dead and decaying plant or animals also. Okay students, after that medicinal use of microorganisms. First we study about the friendly behavior of microorganisms. Now medicinal use of microorganisms. In medicinal use, as we have already discussed that these are used as two types, that is antibiotics and vaccination. Antibiotics are those chemicals that kill or stop the growth of the certain kind of microbes. Antibiotics are those chemicals that kill or stop the growth of the certain kinds of microbes. They help our body to fight against many diseases. After that, these antibiotics are obtained either from fungi or bacteria. Antibiotics obtained either from fungi or bacteria. After that, antibiotics are not effective against viruses. If the disease that occur in our body is due to the virus, then we should not take antibiotics, because antibiotic drugs are not used in case of virus disease, and we are not able to make the antiviral drugs. So with the help of physician or doctors, we can use our treatment. After that, vaccination. Vaccination is the process which is given to the small children in case of many diseases such as smallpox, chickenpox, polio, etc. Vaccine is either given in the form of injection or by giving some drops through mouth. The vaccination process starts at the time of the birth. When a children born, then the process of vaccination is given up to 5 years by giving oral or injection. Edward Jenner, a scientist, Edward Jenner, a doctor, during a deadfall of the smallpox, give first vaccination process in their life. Okay, after that, harmful effects of microorganism. What are the harmful effects of microorganisms? First, common cause disease, our food poisoning. Due to the presence of many bacteria, viruses, our food is spoiled very easily. Food poisoning take place. Microbes cause considerable damage to stored food grains in godams. Extreme conditions such as high temperatures, pressures, etc. are provided, and the food poisoning before cooking or after cooking also takes place, and they play harmful role for us. Due to the food poisoning, the taste of the food changes there is a smell occur in the food, and when we eat such type of food, then we get many type of diseases in our body. Also, there are many diseases occur in plants as well as animals, and microbes play here harmful role. Plant disease such as citrus canker, which take place in okra, bhindi plant, rust of wheat, etc. These are the plant disease. Citrus canker is due to the bacteria which occur in citrus fruits, and yellow vein of mosaic, bhindi, okra disease occur, and also rust of wheat. After that, anthrax disease, foot and mouth disease, Ranikhet disease, these are the animal disease which occur in animals due to the harmful effect of these microbes. Okay, after that, the mode of the spread of disease. The mode of spread of disease or communication disease is different either from direct contact or from indirect contact. Communicable diseases are those diseases which are spread due to direct contact. Direct transmission, contact with the infected person, contact with the soil, contact with the infected vessels which are used by the patients, and also droplet infection, animals bites such as mosquitoes, anopheles, insects bites. Then the mode of spread of disease due to the contact between them. Indirect transmission, that is through contaminated food and water, through air, by using other materials which are take place in surrounding of the patient. These are the diseases which occur in indirect transmission. Okay students, after that our next topic is about food preservation. How we preserve our food? There are many methods of food preservation. First one is the low temperature. By providing low temperature, we can save our food to spoil. Many fresh fruits and vegetables, milk also kept in at low temperature, kept in freezer, refrigerator, and we can protect it by spoiling them. After that, pasteurization method, heat and cold treatment, pasteurization. In pasteurization method, the process of milk to be safe. When a large amount of milk we want to save, not to spoil, then the method of pasteurization is used. After too much heating, the milk is kept at a very low temperature. Heating and the cooling process both take place simultaneously. Okay, after that, dehydration. There is a loss of water. When the green leafy vegetables or fruits, they contain water amount. By washing them with water, we can save these vegetables. Bacteria and fungi cannot be active in absence of moisture. In drying method, sun drying method is also used. When we kept them in sun heat, then the process of dehydration, there is a loss of water convert into water vapors. and the materials remain same. Chemical method is also used by using some chemicals as a preservative.